Rappers and music producers, it's Curtis King at CurtisKingBeats.com, and today I want to talk to you about the reason why I no longer use Soundcloud or any other website that I am giving my music away for free. Let's talk about it. Rappers and music producers, you know that I have had a very testy at times and a very complicated relationship with SoundCloud. Let me first say that before I get started, because this video, the intention is not to bring down a SoundCloud or to talk bad about them. I actually really appreciate the SoundCloud platform, and I appreciate the opportunity they gave artists like myself to use a platform that was so user-friendly, that was mobile-friendly, and at the same time, it just helped me generate a lot of traffic because obviously with them promoting their website and making new advances and new features, it made it easy for people to kind of discover my music. However, times have changed, and as I have developed within my career as a rapper and producer, the need to monetize my career just every year seems to be just that much more important. The reason why I chose to walk away from SoundCloud, and not just SoundCloud, I don't want to single them out, but any website that basically gives you the opportunity to put your music up for free, and then in exchange, you're using their space and their bandwidth to drive traffic from your audience or your potential audience, and that's sort of the arrangement. Some of them even have like monthly subscription services, which is nothing new. But let's talk about it today because I think that over the last few days, I've sort of had a few different epiphanies and a few different wake-up calls. And it has a lot to do with this Spotify playlist that I've been making. Now, you guys know a few days ago, I released sort of the first phase of a plan that I have that is going to put new energy into the beat leasing business by making sure that rappers and producers who need one another find a way to not only come together as a community, but also find a way to discover each other's talent. And then on top of that, generate more income because now people are doing business with one another who probably wouldn't even have known about one another because the internet is just so big. So I created two playlists, and you can go to the description below if you want to go check those out or even see how you can submit your music. But it's specifically for rappers who buy beats online and for producers who sell beats online. Why? Because first of all, before you can have new energy in any industry, the respect and education must occur first. Now, the education must happen not just on behalf of the rappers and producers, the education must happen on behalf of the public because the public has some outdated stereotypes that they associate or some stigmas that they associate with the rappers and producers who do business online. They look at producers who sell beats online as if they're just people that are never make it and they're just selling your beats for dirt cheap. They're probably not that good. They're remakes of other people's beats. They look at rappers like, well, you're buying your beats online because nobody wants to work with you and your music is probably not that good. However, I can tell you, even before I got these submissions that you guys been sending in, I knew that the quality of music was already at a high. But I gotta tell you, once I started listening to you guys' submissions, it just drove my point home even stronger. There are so many talented rappers and producers, and let me tell you, what I'm most proud of those who have submitted is the fact that you have your music available on these streaming services. The music industry has changed. We know that. Even SoundCloud has changed. So before we get into that transformation conversation, let's talk about the reason why I actually walked away from SoundCloud. Now, when I first had an account with them, they were still very new. I was using them. I was using like a Z-Share. I was using AudioMac. I was trying to figure out which one would get me more leverage as I was submitting my music off to blogs. And they did well for me, right? I got a lot of plays. But I started thinking, man, what if I could have just monetize a percentage of that? What would that have been? Because a lot of you have the worry of, I'm not going to put my music up there if nobody's going to listen to it. Well, you're still paying your subscription fee to SoundCloud anyways. Why not put it towards something that can even generate you cents back? I mean, that's better than making nothing at all, I feel like. But as I was uploading music, I was generating a lot of plays. I was definitely driving a lot of traffic to their website, this is how they make their money. You generate traffic to their websites and they satisfy their advertisers. They get more clicks and all that good stuff. So I was generating plays, and I was not the only one, of course. There's people who are generating a whole lot more plays for them. However, those are plays that because I wasn't associated with a third-party company or a label that can go monetize it by becoming a partner with SoundCloud, or because I wasn't a part of a BeatStars account, I was not able to monetize those plays. Now, I was generating these plays before these monetizable options were even available. At that time, my goal wasn't necessarily to monetize, it was to get my name out there. However, they started cracking down a few years on some of their policies dealing with copyright and, unlawful remixes and using music without permission. They started cracking down on that aggressively as they were doing some things behind closed doors. And one of those people that got caught up was me, because I had a remix. I had a remix of a Gucci Gucci song by Krayshawn, and I did this remix in 2010. Everything was all Gucci then, and I was generating a buttload of plays. And I actually reached my download maximum limit at that point in time because they had a cap on that at that time. I reached that, and then I had other remixes that I put up because I thought everything was cool. I thought because they had DJs on the platform, everything was cool. And then they decided everything's not cool, and they got aggressive about it, and they gave me a strike. And when they gave me a strike, I was like, uh-oh. They're going to give me some more strikes and I'm going to lose more privileges, including my account. So as I'm going back and I'm combing through my account and looking for other songs to take down, I get another email that says you have strike 2. And now you can no longer put up free downloads. So at that point, it was like, the hell am I here for? Am I here so that I can have a pretty player for my music? Because truth be told, let me just say like this. Truth be told, we all in an ideal world should be generating all that traffic we send to these websites, even streaming websites, to our own websites. Let's keep it 100. But most rappers and producers out here, I feel like it's not a blanketed statement to say they don't have their own websites. There's a lot of us that do, there's a lot of us that don't. So we have to look at our options and see what makes the most sense. And when they took away that privilege, I was like, look, before you can give me a third strike, I'm gonna delete my account, take my email, and just go about my way. And that's when I started streaming more music. And I'll tell you, having these checks that come in on a consistent basis for music that I myself have not even listened to for years, it's a crazy feeling. And I want you to have the same feeling. Now in retrospect, having my 2020 vision, I look at websites like SoundCloud and AudioMac and even like the throwback ones like Zshare in a whole nother light. Now they serve a purpose. Right? They serve a purpose to help you share your music. They serve a purpose because they generate traffic. They serve a purpose because some of them have a shuffle option that basically allows you to play your music. And once you play it, you go through all these different sort of playlists and all these algorithms that are playing all over the world. So your music may get discovered by somebody who wasn't even looking for your music. That's awesome. But when it comes to monetizing your music, and when I started seeing some of the numbers that were being floated around the internet about the percentage that you're making off of actually streaming on SoundCloud, it was almost laughable. I'm like, nah, that's not what you're getting. And I gotta tell you, I was being stubborn, especially when it came to putting my music on these streaming websites. I always looked at streaming websites like, well, you put your stuff up there when it's like official. Like when you have a full project, you put it up there. Or when you have a single that you're gonna promote heavy, you put it up there. I didn't look at these streaming websites like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, the Deezers, the Pandoras. I didn't look at those in the same light that I look at SoundCloud, and I should have been. And what I mean is this. If we look at SoundCloud as a place or a hub that we can upload the songs that are just drafts, we can upload this and that, and they're generating plays. If they're good enough to generate plays and share with our audience, guess what? They're good enough to be up on streaming. So now I'm starting to look at my streaming experience almost the same way I looked at SoundCloud in the very beginning. The way that I feel like you really win with these particular streaming websites is to start stacking up as much as you can on there. Now, I'm not telling you to go put the worst of your music up there. I'm just saying that the more you have on there, the better opportunity not only do you have of being discovered, because people are always searching for new music to add to their playlist, but you also have an opportunity to generate income. The more songs you have out there, I don't care if it's a freestyle that you did over a beat that you leased, you now have that up there. If that's somebody's favorite song and they play it a gazillion times, share it with their friends, that could be a $10, $15 check for you. So one of the biggest obstacles for me in putting my music or putting more music up on the music streaming websites and kind of having SoundCloud as something I was just relying on was the fact that it was so expensive. It was so expensive to renew your subscription for every single album and song that you uploaded. I mean, it became a hassle because I'm looking at albums that weren't generating in a year the cost of money that it required to renew it. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to lose money every year on that. So you got to imagine my excitement when I got introduced to a DistroKid and I was able to pay $19.99 a year and upload unlimited music. So now that you have something like that available, and that's not the only one, there's other websites that even let you do it for free. But with websites like that available, there's no excuses anymore to use these websites that can't give you anything more except for plays. You know, I want to make sure that you not only become successful, I want to make sure that you not only are happy with making music, because some of you don't want to generate income. And I would say continue using your SoundClouds, continue using all that. But for me, it doesn't justify it because of the bottom line. The bottom line for me is these songs, as much as I love to create and I love my music, they need to generate income. They need to generate income because that is my responsibility to my family, my responsibility to my career. And so it is my job to ensure that that happens and that I am profiting on that. So I'm going to ask the question to you that I asked to myself. Why are you still using these other websites? For what? So as we march forward with these Spotify playlists, I want you to keep this in mind. I'm seeing a lot of rappers and producers who got their music up there for streaming, and I'm so happy. I'm so proud as your peer. But there's a lot of y'all who are still sending me SoundCloud links. You're sending me links with free downloads, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with a free download, but my thing is this. If you're already gonna do it for free, why not be in the environment of people already paying a subscription who would more than likely pay for your music, who would more than likely pay for your merchandise, who would more than likely pay for a ticket to come see you at a show? No, instead you're attracting all this free, and people who think free, they're not gonna buy nothing from you. Today was a bit of a rant. I went all over the place, but I needed to say this today because I wanted to plant a seed in your minds to at least give it an opportunity. Look, if you want to start streaming your music today, like I said before, I have a link in the description how you can get set up, get 7% off and get started with DistroKid. I want you to get your music streamed. I want you to start seeing return on all that work that you've been putting in. At the end of the day, weigh your options, ask why you are doing it, and then make the changes you need to make. Once again, this is Curtis King, CurtisKingBeats.com. Peace. Please subscribe to the channel below, Curtis King, CurtisKingBeats.com.